I'm Miss Moore, and I'm going to give you a little tour of my classroom and talk about why it works so well for me. This is the overall layout of the classroom. I have all my chairs up because my kids in my last period were really helpful and helped me put everything up. So this specific layout really helps me kind of have room in the middle here to teach from and walk around, and I can check on the students' work from both sides if I need to. This also works really well because I like to have different stations going on, especially with the little kids. Friday, this table was learning about different shapes and building things with the shapes. This table was coloring organic and geometric shapes with primary colors. And this table over here, they were working on their sketchbooks. So rotating from table to table works really well in this layout. I usually teach from these rolling carts up here, which I try to update with whatever key elements we're learning about at the time. And then up on the board, I post the projects and then key terms or artists or books for reading for each one. Here is a place for students to just bring me some art that they have made at home for me. And over here, I keep posters of all the elements that we're learning, definitions, and pictures to go along with them. And I try to keep tissue and sanitizer really easy to get to so it doesn't cause a big disturbance. Normally when students are done with their projects and I've checked it off, they can come over here to the reading area and choose a book and sit quietly. I've tried to label them by either grade level or what they're about. And as long as they're following the rules over here, they can sit quietly and read. Another option for some of my more diverse learners or just wiggly students that need a break, I usually have some kind of table set up with an extra activity. Right now they're just kind of experimenting with different colors, and we're gonna make these into like a hanging sculpture eventually, but they love coming over here. And they're usually pretty well to be on their own. When I first got this room, the entire side over here, you could not even walk through because there was just so much stuff, and it took me a long time to get it organized. But this desk is kind of the one where I do most of my planning, and kids are not allowed to come back here. I have all my folders and lessons in here, and I also keep my lessons in this cabinet right here, which works nicely. Over here is where I try to organize all of the artwork. So we have a red, white, black schedule. So all the kids from the red day are in here in order, the white day is over here, and the black day is over here. So I can easily just pull out their folder and see what we're working on. I'm also trying to train some of my kids to be able to put the art away and get it out. I've worked really hard to organize all the supplies in here, and I've tried to label what everything is. It helps me just to be able to find everything a lot faster. I will usually put in these totes for each grade if there's worksheets or different things we're going to be learning. This is all of the sketchbooks for each class. And because I'm doing the elements of art, they usually have a small assignment to do, and then we'll do a project over that. All right, so in the back of the room, at one point I could not even walk back here, but I have worked really hard to organize it as much as I can, and I still have a long way to go, but all my papers and paint and watercolors, and I am recycling this poster bin for old projects just to kind of keep them organized by every section. These are all things that I still need to go through, so I'm working on that. But it's nice to have a place away from the students, and I can shut the door and not have to worry about them getting into things. I forgot to mention about the classroom jobs. I change these out every week, but depending on which table they're sitting at, each table has a specific job. So paper passers get the artwork out or hand out worksheets. Blue table is responsible for cleaning up the floor. Yellow helps me pass out pencils or any tote supplies we have. Violet helps me wipe the tables down. And at the end of the day, pink actually takes the trash cans out in the hallway for the janitor. But if you're not in the end of the day class, you're just responsible for helping pick up trash. So that's my classroom. I feel like I've got it set up pretty well. It's taken me about 2 years, and I'm sure I will change it again, but it goes along with my teaching philosophy of providing a fun and creative space that just captures imagination and also feels safe and reliable. There's a lot of different procedures in place to try and keep things going smoothly. Every student knows what's expected of them and where things are located, and I think that cuts down on chaos a lot. This setup also really allows me to move throughout the room and check on all of the kids easily, and I love that because I want to be more involved with their art and coming alongside of them. I don't have a lot of behavior problems or issues in my class. If I do, I sometimes will try to redirect several times, and then eventually I'll move kids to this little seat up here by me, which is covered in paper right now. But yeah, that's where they go if they need a little timeout. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I have had the best time getting this room set up, even though it's been a lot of work. It really makes me enjoy coming to my room a lot more. Bye.